Well, it's noon here in Bethesda, Maryland on Friday, December 23rd, 2 days before Christmas. And this is the news that you can use from YAA with your hosts, Zach and Ray, guaranteed to make your Christmas the best Christmas ever.
Yes! Yes! Hit the wrong button. Sorry, folks.
Pops, I think someone's at the door. Can you let him in?
Oh my God, the F&I goddess herself in Christmas attire, Miss Kimberly Kline.
How are you guys? I'm just out here, being festive in Bavaria. That's where I'm at today with my mini cooper. Lots of gifts, and I put the tree on the roof too. So, yeah, I'm very festive. How are you?
Festive in Bavaria is one of my favorite songs of all time. If you haven't heard it, just Spotify it. Festive
Drake, isn't it?
It's a Drake song. Yeah.
Festive in Bavaria. Staring up the stereo.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's got Kimberly, happy Christmas Eve to you. Thanks for joining us. The YAA team and the CarMax team, if you were not aware, they are off today. Today's a holiday, but Miss Kimberly Kline coming through, wanted to join us for the show. We really appreciate it, Kimberly. You got exciting weekend plans. We all do, because you know what? It's a holiday, and we're going to enjoy that, right? Long weekend.
It is.
What makes
yes.
Weekend?
All right, we're not going to go there. Kimberly, can we kick off? See what I just said there?
Kimberly,
can we kick off?
Wow.
Let's kick off with a piece of work that Justin did, and I titled today's stream, Ford, Kia, Honda, and Toyota are making a huge mistake.
I love
Justin
it.
On
I
our
love
team,
your titles.
Thank you. I've been practicing. Justin went ahead and he researched 10 of the vehicles that have the biggest MSRP increases year over year heading into 2023. And the percent changes are up here at the top. And what do you know? The top 4 are more than a 15% increase in MSRP year over year. One stands out among them all, which is the Ford F-150 Lightning. 40% in starting MSRP year over year. But look at this. The Honda CR-V went up 16%. The Toyota Sequoia went up 8.5%. The Jeep Compass even a 10% increase. So, Ms. Kimberly Kline, do you think these automakers are making a huge mistake by jacking up those MSRPs so high?
Yeah, I mean, I do. I think people are going to, where are you people? Let's march. Let's yell about this. The Ford Lightning, wasn't it just last week? It went up like 9%, right? So
an additional 9%. Yep.
An additional 9%. What's it going to be next week? I wonder. Yeah, this is crazy. And the Honda CR-V is because everybody loves the Honda CR-V. So why not jack the price up? Sure. Merry Christmas.
Well, in many of the cases, the reason the prices are jacked up is because what they've done is they dropped their lowest trim level.
Yeah.
So the price increase is because, the base trim level doesn't exist anymore. So you're one trim level up. So they're just making it harder and harder for more and more people to afford their products. And eventually it'll come back to haunt every one of these manufacturers.
And didn't Ford say last week their 9% hike increase was due to material costs?
I think that was part of it. That was part of the explanation was, hey, things are just more expensive, so we got to raise the price. And I think ultimately what we're going to see here is a lot of vehicles next year, the prices are going to continue to go up. We saw this past year, remember Tesla kind of set the precedent for we can just raise prices whenever we want.
And they did.
And they also now have demonstrated that they can also lower prices whenever they want, because we have a $7,500 discount on Model 3s and Model Ys right now. But it set the precedent for other automakers to start to do things similarly. We even saw Toyota, I think it was with the Tundra, the Tacoma. They were very aggressive in raising the MSRP there. And so, Kimberly, I bet you're right. As material prices go up, you're going to see MSRPs go up. It seems inevitable moving into next year that these MSRPs are just going to go up and up and up.
Yeah. They're on the precipice of the morass.
On the precipice of a morass. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you, Ray. Well said.
No, and thank you for bringing that up. That was quite the
Happy
shock
holiday.
on my face yesterday when I mentioned the morass.
Definitely. So I think it's a mistake. I can't get the read of the room from either of you if you think it's a mistake, but I definitely do. I think getting rid of your lower trim level, jacking up MSRPs,
Yes.
creating a recipe for disaster where average consumers won't be able to afford your brand, it's going to create an opportunity for someone else.
You know,
I
there
agree.
was an interesting comment yesterday on our the Ray and Zach channel from yesterday's show. A gentleman who's actually an automobile broker in New York.
Okay.
And he couldn't get over, he still hasn't been able to get over the greed of dealers.
Yep.
And he sees the pendulum swinging back the other way as
Definitely.
inventories are building up. And,
Mm-hmm.
you know, between the manufacturers and the dealers, the amount of greed has been unbelievable. And so
Yes.
if you do away with your base trim levels, which realistically is the base vehicle to at least first get a customer into your brand, and then eventually as their incomes go up, they want to continue in the brand and move up into a higher trim level, the next higher trim level, and then maybe the next model, and so on and so on. Well, they're making it harder and harder for people to get in on the entry level, and that has to come back to bite you at a certain point. You know, if the entry level pricing is so high that a large percentage of people can never get into it, then it takes your brand off of their shopping list.
Yeah.
And the other thing it does is it moves those people to only ever considering your vehicles as a pre-owned car. And that might not necessarily be the stepping stone to the next new car, because they might not like the quality of the pre-owned car that they bought. I think it's short-sighted on manufacturers.
I think it's short-sighted as well. Right. And I remember, this just kind of reminds me of a time whenever Pontiac went away. And people would come into the dealership and complain that, you know, that mid-range price vehicle all of a sudden was gone. So the diehard domestic people that really like their domestic vehicles, you know, it turned them to checking out Honda, Subaru, some other, because the GMCs were too expensive. And so Pontiac went away. People got really upset and they turned to other brands. And in this case, it seems like, well, are there any other brands to turn to? Because they're all very, very expensive.
And you know, legitimately, you can think of a number of GM based products that have gone by the wayside. Oldsmobile, Pontiac, Saturn. You know, Saturn was one of the great entry level vehicles of all time.
Really?
In that their whole business was, there's no negotiation. The MSRP is the selling price of the vehicle. Dealers will go out of their way to help you any way they can.
Why didn't that work?
Did. Well, it did for a time, and then the quality of the vehicle deteriorated. And that's what ultimately caused its demise. The first batch of people that bought Saturns swore by them, swore by the experience, swore by the brand. But then as the brand quality went downhill, the swearing turned to a different type of swearing, and that increased.
We should become an automaker, and we should do what Saturn did.
Okay.
It worked.
Let's.
Kimberly's like,
No, it's
sure.
good. Okay, we'll put that on the docket for Tuesday morning. But I will tell you that I worked for a mortgage title company back when Saturn came out, and the company that I worked for bought fleet from Saturn, so that our title adjusters and things like that, they were all driving Saturns, and it was a good thing. I think they sold a lot of fleet too, by the way, to different companies, because
Can I share one thing with both of you that I think will tie into this a little bit as well? And I'm sorry, I didn't preempt either of you with this in the show notes.
Preempt? No, you are preempting us. You didn't preview us.
Kimberly, can you get me on the grammar check there? Did I use preempt?
I'm just sticking with precipice. We are on the precipice of another article that we did not get.
We will be doing a grammar check here in just a moment. Let me know in the chat if I used preempt appropriately. This is the sales satisfaction JD Power Index that came out recently. I'm going to scroll to the very bottom, and I know it looks tiny. I'm going to zoom in, okay?
Yeah.
We've got a video that'll be on the YAA channel early next week that talks about this. The brands that are at the bottom of this list, Kia, Hyundai, Toyota, Honda. Now, Ford is above average.
Not really.
But these four down here, and I think we mentioned them in the title of today's stream, those are the brands where you've seen the greatest, not only MSRP increases, save for Ford with their F-150 Lightning, but also the greatest additional dealer markups. And they are getting the lowest ratings in terms of sales satisfaction. The brand with the highest sales satisfactions are Buick, Dodge, and Subaru. Now, Subaru is a bit of an outlier here because they actually don't have inventory or a lot of inventory, but they're still quite high.
Yeah.
Dodge has inventory, and Buick has a lot of inventory. And I think just to put it into context a little bit, the more you screw the customer, the less satisfied they're going to be with the experience. The more the OEM screws the customer by raising the MSRP or including port installed accessories and things like that through the distributor, or the dealer screws the customer by adding all sorts of, again, it's just, we're seeing ways that upsets the consumer experience.
Yeah, which changes the diehard loyal brand followers. And trust me, Subaru is one of them. They're very, very diehard. But there's no brand. I don't feel like there's much brand loyalty like there used to be.
Let me show you guys one other thing because it really hits this home. If we go to the latest Cox Automotive new car inventory data and we scroll down to their days supply of inventory, again, you're just going to see a pattern here. The brands with the lowest days supply, Toyota, Kia, Honda. The outlier, again, is Subaru here. But Toyota, Kia, Honda, they were very low on the sales satisfaction index. You go to the brands with the most inventory, Buick, Jeep, Dodge, Ram. Those are the ones that have the highest sales satisfaction. I know, right? Sales satisfaction and inventory, they go hand in hand. Customers want to feel like they're winning when they go to buy a car.
Yes.
Yes, exactly.
And you really don't need to do a study to figure that out. Common sense would suggest that, well, the more you're ripping people off, the less satisfied they're going to be. Unless it's that group of people that just love getting their ass handed to them.
I mean, unless there's always that.
There is always that. Hey, I want to remind everyone, and I know, Kimberly, you and I talked about this a bit yesterday and possibly talked about it on the show. I am temperature checking with everyone. If we brought on a CarEdge concierge service, a service where you told us, like, imagine you go to the car search and instead of favoriting a car, you literally like pressed a button and it was like, hey, CarEdge and YAA team, like go make this deal for me. Would you be interested in that? Continuing to do like a temperature check of this because I think it's on the near horizon. I'm getting really excited about it. I really am.
Well, I
especially for Hondas and Toyotas.
Well, may I say something?
Yeah, please.
I don't think the temperature matters if you've pretty much decided we're doing it. Temperature check doesn't matter. CEO wants it done. Yeah. So, folks, I hope you're really high on this idea because Zach is. And I can tell you from Jump Street, Ray's not going to be involved in this. I did this 3 years ago with him, nearly killed me. Had me working 14, 15, 16-hour days.
It was good for you.
Bullshit.
You're leaving dealership world after 40 plus years, and then you throw him into that. Oh my God.
Negotiating with dealers all across the country on behalf of customers. And meanwhile, we were charging customers $500 for us to do it, and those of us who were actually in the trenches doing it were getting everything inside the zero in the circle. We were getting zero out of it.
All right. Let's switch gears here. Thank you, everyone, for the comment. CarEdge Canada, sometime next year, we have access to the data. We just gotta prioritize it. And Debbie wants to know if she can finance her membership. No.
Yeah, for 72
months.
Let's see, at 12.5%.
We just don't have that term available, Debbie. I'm sorry.
Can we make it easy for Debbie? Can we do a weekly for her?
No, Debbie's
Say-
very
say
kind.
$2
Get
a
out of
week.
here. Stop. Debbie, if you want 72-month financing on the $60 YAA or CarEdge Plus membership,
Yeah.
we can try our best to accommodate you. All right.
We got credit unions.
We got credit
Might
unions.
fall below their. Let's see what we can do.
All right, guys. We did not touch on in yesterday's CarMax video.
But really, have you ever thought about like a weekly charge? Make it easier for people?
No, you've got a little schmaltz on you.
Did it come off?
Yeah, it was like a little fuzz from your sweatshirt.
It's from my sweatshirt. It's a
Oh.
very fuzzy
We're
sweatshirt.
not doing weekly.
No, think of it
Dad,
weekly.
get out of here.
What about
Kimberly.
hourly? Can we do hourly?
Yeah, there you go.
We are going to the next topic. We did not talk about this on yesterday's show about CarMax, but it's
Yes.
important that we do.
Hmm.
Okay.
CarMax auto finance income drops 8% on increased loan loss provisions. Provisions for loan losses increased by $9.5 million year over year. Now, if you've been following along at home,
Yes.
in the second quarter, CarMax increased their loan loss provisions by, what was it, $45 million? They more than doubled it.
Yeah, just to 70. No, it was they doubled. They went from 35 to 75 million.
Okay, and
Or
loan
80
loss
million.
provisions are the monies you set aside for financing that you've done that you don't actually expect to come to fruition. They increased it again year over year. And I don't know, Kimberly, if you saw my tweet thread, but I was live tweeting as I was listening to the earnings report. Yeah, I was live tweeting as I was listening to the earnings report. And John Nash, the CEO, Bill Nash, excuse me,
Yeah.
the CEO, said that he's seen delinquencies industry-wide go up, especially for tier 2 and tier 3 credit, lower tier credit individuals. So, Kimberly, I think this is a big storyline as we head into the new year. We know from our prior conversations together that consumers have a lot of debt burden, and now we're starting to see increases in repossessions and delinquencies, not only at CarMax, but industry-wide.
Yeah, absolutely. Indeed, it's going to go up. It's just going to continue to go up. And I think that at one point, Zach, you also showed a comparison with credit card debt as well. So it seems like many Americans are in debt over their eyeballs. Can I read the second sentence? I think it's the second paragraph. Total interest margin. The total interest margin, okay, which represents the spread between interest and fees charged to consumers and the company's funding costs, was 6.7 of average manageable receivables, down from 7.2 in the same reporting period last year. So as that goes down, and I don't know that we're going to have a repocalypse, whatever you want to call that, but we are definitely going to see repos go up, especially, yes, with tier 2. And of course, tier 3. What is tier 2 credit? Tier 2 credit's low 600s. Tier 3 is going to be subprime to deep subprime.
Yep.
And if I may, I think one of the other things we saw is that their spread between their cost of the money and what they're actually selling it to the customers for has gone down.
Yep.
In order to be able to keep their customers in a payment that they can afford. So you're seeing dealerships, or in this case, CarMax, having to strip out some of their profit from the finance side of things just so that they can keep the payment in a range that the customer will still say yes to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
you'll see all dealerships doing that in the future.
Yes. That's what I was just going to say. I do too, Ray. So as a finance manager, I don't know, let's say that the going rate on a new car creeps up to 8% for tier 1 credit. And then you come in and I'm trying to hold even a point or two, and I hit you at 10% so I can make some money on your deal. Well, that just puts the customer right out of range for that tighter lending, the payment, especially where the customer wants to be. And it makes it very much harder to get a deal put together. So it's a big struggle. The finance manager is trying to make money. It's harder and harder to mark up those buy rates because it's tougher on the customer. So, yeah, I see
the amount of
buy rate.
definitely will definitely be going down.
margin compression. It's happening industry wide. Now let's come here, Michael.
Don't they make pants too, compression pants?
Michael, thank you for the contribution. While lithium prices are up compared to years past, they have stabilized at these higher prices. So I'm not sure why Ford needs repeated price increases. Something tells me that they're using a justification of materials costs and things like that to cover up for other things as well. I haven't listened. I mean, maybe I'll listen to the Q3 Ford earnings and hear how they try and justify what's going on there as well. But I bet you it's a bit of a crutch for how they can justify higher prices to the consumer. That would be my guess.
Yeah, and especially considering the fact that the Lightning was originally intended to be a somewhat more affordable electric full-size truck.
Oh yeah, don't even get started on the Maverick and the issues there. Yeah, no.
So that we're, it is no longer
no, it's not
remotely an affordable electric truck.
How's this sound to both of you? We'll go through the chat. We got a couple messages here that I think are really important that we pull up, and then do a really you got to be kidding me, and then success stories, and maybe even like success stories not just from this past week, but we're coming up to year end, so we can talk about some of the big wins from the past year. Does that sound good?
Okay.
Sounds great to me. I'm down.
We got Steve here in the chat saying, question, please. Why do you guys think car manufacturers are creating financial suicide for themselves? Surely they are run by very intelligent executives and directors. I'm not sure if it's financial suicide. I think it's playing the short game versus the long game. They've made a lot of money the way it currently works. What do you think, Kimberly?
Yes, 100%. Taking advantage of what is available while they can. Because what do I always say? What goes up must come down. So, yep, they're going to take everything they possibly can at the time. And
the other reason they're doing it is to please their shareholders. When you're a publicly traded company, you have a fiduciary responsibility.
Even when you're not a publicly traded company, if you're a corporation, you have a fiduciary responsibility. The moment you're publicly traded, there's just an even brighter spotlight on you.
So it's they always tend to look more short term than long term, because that's what their stockholders are most interested in.
We've got here from our dear friend Santa Claus.
Yes.
I wonder if Santa's going to be here on December 26th.
Santa.
I'm not sure, but we'll see.
Hopefully he's resting up
Hopefully
on the 26th. Yeah.
I got an email from Volkswagen stating that ID4s manufactured after January 4th were going up by $1,500. Again, we started today's show off with the vehicles that have significant MSRP increases. So don't just get frustrated at your local dealer. Get frustrated with the OEMs who are raising the base prices and removing base trims. Richard says, how's Tesla doing? Any insights with their new incentives? News seems to think they have a lot of inventory buildup. I haven't heard a lot of inventory buildup, but they also at the same time have introduced a $7,500 discount for 3s and Ys.
Well, and I think the reason they're doing that, one of the reasons they're doing
end of year push,
and it's to take those people who were waiting for January 1st when the new EV incentives go in,
which are now March 1st.
That's besides the point. It's to try and bring those people into sales now as opposed into sales in the future. So that's what I think it is, personally.
We've got here Moose reminding us that Ford has to raise prices to pay for warranty repairs. So I think that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that's a lot of it. Yeah.
And Igor telling us that manufacturers will be bringing back base cheaper models in their lineup. They say for now they're not doing it because they have lower profit margins. I wonder if we will see a future where we see some of these, like the Chevy Sparks make a reappearance and things like that. You've got to imagine eventually some of these OEMs will have to, or else they're just going to completely move a segment of their audience. Like they can't be customers. They just can't be customers.
Right.
Or they'll be. Go ahead, Kimberly.
No, I was just going to say I foresee some big changes coming even in the first quarter. I really do. I think we're going to see some big changes.
And my theory on this is that maybe perhaps we'll see a smaller manufacturer, perhaps Mitsubishi, or Tata or somebody
maybe
that says, you know what, we're going to let all those big players continue doing what they're doing, and we're just going to start building cars for the people that they are no longer interested in selling cars to.
Maybe.
And so that I think we might see somebody come into the marketplace that just specializes in inexpensive base automobiles.
They're certainly creating that need, aren't they? They're creating that gap to fill. So there you go.
All right, now this is very important what I'm about to pull up on the screen. And, it is holiday season. Kimberly is obviously in Bavaria celebrating with her Mini Cooper behind her. I've got a couple things that I'll pull up on the screen in a minute here. We just had this message from Brad. Friend got hit by uninsured motorist. Now her insurance company is giving her 3 days in a rental and wholesale price for her car to find a replacement. Terrible situation. Be it. Brad, my email is Zach, Z as in zebra, A as in apple, C as in Charlie, H as in Henry, for all of you that spell with a K, at joinyaa.com. We will give your friend a membership for free, and we will help her. The team's back on Tuesday. I'm on this weekend. I've seen Phil working today, but I got to tell him to stop. But we'll give her a free membership. We'll help her. Just email me, give us her contact information. That is one of the easiest decisions I've had to make in a long, long time. We will obviously help someone like that out. That's a terrible situation.
It is a terrible situation. That's very kind. Very kind. Yeah.
Yeah. We've got a little bit
nice
of work here at the end of the year. For the team, the YAA team, the CarEdge team, we do donations at the end of the year. So I got to get that done before the end of the year. And then also tomorrow night on the YAA channel, we are going to be doing some giveaways. So please be sure to tune in for tomorrow night's Christmas Eve.
I believe he's planning on giving me away.
No, we're not giving you away.
We would auction you, Ray. We would put you up for auction.
I'm still waiting to hear from Learning Fest. We did a caption contest over on the community page here on the Ray and Zach channel. We did a caption contest for a photo, and Learning Fest won. Yeah. And he needs to email me his phone number. You're going to leave him a voicemail.
You mean for...
Yeah, his cell phone. Yeah.
Hey, you've called, and this is Ray from
whatever. Okay.
Happy holidays, Melissa.
Hey, Melissa. Good to see you. You guys ready to switch gears?
Can I say one thing to Melissa?
Sure.
Melissa, I was so disappointed to see that you didn't win the come in number one as the ultimate hockey fan. Knowing your passion, that was a no-brainer, and they blew it when they didn't give you the award. Just saying.
Oh, Melissa.
All right, gang, we're going to switch gears.
I mean, how could they give it to somebody that was a Vegas Knights fan? Really? You gotta be kidding.
You are hard to direct, man. All right. We've got two catalytic converter related. Really, you got to be kidding me. These are interesting. First,
yes,
we're going to start with from Carfax. Thanks for sharing this with me, Kimberly. The 10 most targeted vehicles for catalytic converter theft. And then we're going to switch gears and we're going to talk about the fact that Toyota is offering catalytic converter shields on some of their vehicles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here are the cars most likely to have their catalytic converters stolen from them. No wonder Toyota's offering these shields. Look at this.
Yes.
The Ford F-Series, the Honda Accord, the Jeep Patriot, the Ford Econo line, Chevy Silverado, Chevy Equinox, the Honda CR-V, the Camry, the Chrysler 200, and 20 model years worth of Priuses.
Yeah.
And so Toyota out here adding a catalytic converter shield on Corolla, Sequoia, RAV4, Tundra, 4Runner, and Tacoma. Go for it.
Well, if you read it, they're not adding it.
Yeah.
Okay. If you read it, they've partnered with Cat Shield, a company out in California that actually makes the shields, and you can order the shield, which will not be installed in the car. You will just get the shield, and then either you have to install it, or you can make arrangements with the dealership that you're buying the vehicle from to have them install it. So, or you could just put a note on the catalytic converter that says, "Hey, by the way, when you're done with this, could you install my Cat Shield for me?" Yeah.
These
are the times in which we live.
It is really. It's a $140 option that doesn't come installed from the factory, meaning you'll need to do it yourself or have it bolted up at the dealership. But here's something interesting. Considering a catalytic converter for a 22 Prius is over $1,000, $140 is pretty cheap insurance. I got to tell you guys, this has been some buzz around my area. You know, I'm in the West Virginia, Maryland area. it happens here all the time. If you don't park your car in a garage, there's somebody out there, little catalytic converter elves that are stealing your catalytic converters. And, because it's made with precious, what do you call minerals, stones.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I knew it was an issue and whatnot, but I didn't realize quite how pervasive an issue was. Also, no one told me in the chat earlier correctly, which I'm still, but I just thought that was super interesting. The top 10 vehicles that are targeted the most, and then Toyota kind of providing you with a protection option there. Hey, before we get into success stories, Kimberly and Pops, I want to remind everyone a little bit of a confusing time here in Yaland, but we'll get through it as a team. JoinYAA.com. If you're going to buy a car, start there. If you're going to sell a car, start there. If you're going to get insurance for your car, okay, we're going to help Todd's friend, get insurance. You can talk to our agency. We're here to help. The warranty, we're doing a $150 discount on all extended warranties between now and the end of the year. Financing and refinancing, we can connect you to our credit union partners. And of course, we have our car buying program, our YAA Plus membership with maintenance and repair discounts. Everything, and even the consultations. You can set up consultations with our team, with Kimberly as well, if you've got questions about finance and insurance. So everything's back on joinyaa.com. And then we are moving over to my.caredge.com, caredge.com. So stay patient with us over the next couple weeks here. You'll see more and more updates over on caredge.com. Just like the bare minimum is currently up, but some nice things on caredge.com that aren't currently over on Join YAA. When you go to a particular vehicle, for example, you can see our payment calculator down at the bottom. You can add your trade-in to this payment calculator, so you can start to play around with that as well. So we are working on the transition to CarEdge. We appreciate, and I know it's confusing, we appreciate everyone going through this with us. We're still here to help, even when the name changes.
Got any logo updates?
Yeah, we do. We have a new logo.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second.
Well, that's because
that was fun.
Hard to direct. But
that was fun, though. I love trying to pick out a logo.
Yeah, thank you. Huge shout out to the community. We got a lot of help from everyone in the community, giving me suggestions, providing feedback. Let me get these that are big enough so that we can all see them. All right, I'll pull them up on the screen now. And then we are going to get into success stories, okay?
Okay.
So here we go. Let me zoom in. There you go. Whoopsies. Zoom out a little. That's going to be your CarEdge logo, folks. And obviously, we've got it just in white. Whoops.
I'm liking it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a C, right? You see a C.
I see an E.
We're your navigator. We're helping you. That's the name, CarEdge. So there you go.
Very nice.
I like it. I really do. I hope everybody else out there likes it too.
Thank you.
Cheers.
And if they don't,
cheers to CarEdge.
Well, thank you. All right, so Kimberly, here's some of the festive stuff we brought. A bag.
Where's your flare? I want your flare. There's bag. All right. Looks like it's okay. Some Christmas stuff on it. A dog, I think I see.
Yeah.
We have a bag. And then we have a giant thing of cookies.
Yeah.
A holiday tin of cookies.
Yeah.
Jacobson's of Denmark.
Jacobson's Bakery. Butter cookies.
I happen to love Jacobson's.
Real butter.
Well,
32% real butter.
It would be better if it was, 60% real butter, but that's okay. I would eat them anyway.
What's the rest of the crap in the butter cookies?
No, you don't need to know what the other 68% are. All right, let's do success stories.
I got to think of one.
Yeah.
Oh, I got one.
All right, let's go, Kimberly.
All right, so I don't know, since this morning we might have had more, but I saw this one this morning from Bernie. And I'm going to tell you why, too. I've been going through success stories and picking out why I love this success story. And for Bernie, he said something in his story was, the point wasn't to rob them, it was to make the stakes equal. And so in Bernie's story, I saw where he turned the tables. Ray, as you say, applied knowledge is power. Bernie is proof of that. And what a great success story, Zach.
Absolutely love that.
Anytime a success story shows empowerment or where they say they all of a sudden felt confident, to me, in my heart, that because I'm all about empowering you, use your terms, negotiate the way that we teach you, and just apply it. And all of a sudden, you're going to get that confidence, and confidence begets confidence. So,
And
Yeah.
I just
So, don't worry about it.
popped.
Lost my head.
I just popped it in the chat so that everyone can see. These are not made up stories. These are not, hidden in our email inboxes. These are posted on the 100% free YAA, soon to be CarEdge community forum. So here it is, Bernie Peterson, 12 hours ago. Just going through here. I definitely encourage everyone to read this. I gave it a like. Kimberly, thank you so much for being on the forum. I'm going to give your comment a like. This is these stories, this is what I was gonna give Mike Dean a quick shout out. Mike's been a part of our community. He's the CEO of a union. Mike has been a huge proponent of what we've been trying to build, consumer empowerment, all that fun stuff. Back on December 27th, 2021, he placed his order for his Acura RDX.
Oh my God.
Year, he finally took delivery.
Woohoo!
Shout out to Mike. Congratulations. And then we had this Volkswagen Atlas that Matt was able to get for $4,200 below MSRP. A great story here as well. If you're not on the community forum, you absolutely should be. The community forum is also where Deal School 3.0 is. And I just want to show both of you. Look how many people have finished it. 100% completion. Let's go to the next page. 100% completion. 100% completion.
Wow.
100% completion. There are hundreds of people that have completed Deal School 3.0, and there are comments. You actually have like an opportunity to communicate with your fellow Deal School students, if it would load for me, but there are comments associated with each lesson. Yeah, okay, well, it's giving me a little error. There are comments associated with each lesson that you have in Deal School, so it's a great resource. So those are some of the wins that I had from this week.
I have one.
Go ahead, Kimberly.
You can also ask questions too. When you go through Deal School 3.0, I'm sorry, I did that, didn't I? I did it.
No, it's just like we've been doing this together as a team for like 2 years, and it feels like we've like regressed on our ability to like.
We may have. We may have. I'm so sorry. We may have. Right.
No, go. It's you, Kimberly.
No, I was just gonna say. Oh, thank you, Mark. Merry Christmas. I was just gonna say, and you can ask questions in the comments of Deal School 3.0. You have support.
Not high and dry. All right, Pops, what is your win from the week?
Helping to educate your sister and brother-in-law when it comes to the potential purchase of a new vehicle and sharing with them, especially Zach, your brother-in-law, sharing with him the CarEdge information so that he can utilize that information to determine of the 4 particular types of cars that they might be considering, which one of those 4 would make the most sense based on typical maintenance costs, depreciation, when to expect major repairs, and all that information. So your brother-in-law is doing some studying between work. So that's my success story, taking absolute novices, and I don't know how that could be. Dara grew up in my household, taking absolute novices, and when we're done, we're going to turn them into quasi-professional car people.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
it's really
awesome.
Cool. Dara and Zach want to get a new car next year, and it's so cool. It's like, they're not doing the process because they're just calling my dad, but we're then like redirecting them back to like, no, here's where the information is. And it's, we help thousands of people, and directly, I mean, thousands of people sign up, and it's really awesome when you get to like do it with someone. Like, I know Jake bought a car last year and you were able to help him. Dara and Zach are going to buy a car next year, and we're giving them the CarEdge day. So it's really cool. It's really cool to see it. And
Catherine and her brother buying her parents a car.
Yeah, Car Hunters. You'll probably see at the beginning of January. We actually helped one of our colleagues, Catherine on the team, buy a car for her mom, and we documented the whole thing. She documented the whole thing. So it's great. Thank you, Eddie. You guys are amazing. I really want to thank
Eddie,
who helped me a lot with my 2019 Honda Pilot touring purchase. Yeah, so many folks. And Kimberly, you know what happens when we get super stickers, don't you?
You got to dance. There you go. If that wasn't worth $10, I don't know what.
I know. Where's that money machine?
It's here. It still doesn't work.
That
Yeah,
money
still doesn't
gun.
work.
Yeah, the money
Still
gun.
haven't
There
got
you
the battery.
go.
Hopefully tomorrow night.
Sure. Yeah, but
Oh my God, you guys.
I don't even know what kind of batteries it needs.
Yeah, we are huge fans of AMD Ahmed over at the
Yeah.
Car Care Nut. I feel terrible, guys. Can I confess something? Can I confide something to everyone that's
Sure. Yeah.
Here we go.
I texted AMD maybe like a month ago.
Yeah.
And said, hey, let's do an interview. Let's have you back on the channel in December. And then I never followed up with him. I know.
You're too busy.
No, I'm sorry, AMD. I will text you right when we hop off and apologize. So I'm sorry.
Oh, well, this is a public apology too, so
Yeah.
hopefully it's
Are we
watching.
rich yet? No. Nope, very much not.
No, I do apologize. I feel extremely rich. and I mean not financially. Okay, but I'm rich in the friendships and the new people that are part of my life. I've never felt as if my life has been fuller or richer than it is today.
Oh.
So there you have it.
Oh.
Am I rich yet? Not financially by any stretch of the imagination, but otherwise, emotionally, yeah.
Spiritually, intellectually.
Well, intellectually, I'm lacking, but that's besides the point.
Can I say something?
Other questions you want to answer?
Yes, please, Kimberly.
I just want to say that this is the best job in the world, helping people. Now, it really is. It is the best job in the world. It's something that I sought out after dealership life, was to help people. But wow, never in a million years did I think I would be helping people on this grand of a scale. And it is the best feeling in the whole world. It really is. So.
Thank you, Kimberly.
Can I second that? And I just want to add one thing to that.
Yeah.
Apparently, from 71 and a half years of living that I've done, helping people is not at the top of everybody's list.
Yeah.
Not everybody is cut out to be able to help others. Those who are, and I'm not saying this because we do it, but those who are a special breed of people who derive more satisfaction from actually helping others gain things in life than just being on their own and not helping. So helping is not, I've always done it, not to the degree that we do it today.
Right.
It takes special people.
It's pretty cool, Kimberly and Pops. Like it's kind of wild to think like people like what they do here. We help people, they save money, we're solving a real problem,
building confidence.
We're building something. Yeah, it's really cool. It's really, really cool. So thanks for being a part of it. You two, means the world to me. All right, let's hear it. Ryan's given us a thoughtful contribution late to the show. Do you guys have an opinion on the health of CarMax in comparison to Carvana? Ryan, I encourage you. We've got a video coming out tomorrow on the main channel, and we have yesterday's stream where we dig into CarMax. And probably around the 10-minute mark or 12-minute mark of today's stream, we talk a little bit about CarMax. That being said, we all think that CarMax is much more financially stable than Carvana.
Carvana.
Yeah, Mark's kind of, Carvana's not quite dead, but they could be. So, and yeah, you know what? Listen to Mark. Mark hit it on the nail on the head.
The truth of the matter is, CarMax survived the Great Recession.
Yeah, they learned a lot from that, I'm sure.
And Carvana came about after the Great Recession. So they're two completely different companies, run two completely different ways. One is much more fiscally sound than the other at the moment. So I would expect CarMax to be around for years and years and years. And I would expect at a certain point, Carvana will be a fond memory and a footnote in history.
I second that.
Well, gang, let's call it a show. Kimberly, thanks for taking part of your day off to join us, and we really appreciate it. A reminder, our team will be back on Tuesday of next week. I'm sure we'll all be ducking our heads in over, like tomorrow. Everyone will absolutely, if I see anything happening on Sunday, I'm going to be frustrated. So don't expect to hear from us on Sunday, but I'm sure you'll get some messages from me tomorrow. I'm sure you'll get some messages from the rest of the team tomorrow and on Monday, but we're back on Tuesday. So we can help everyone out back on Tuesday. If you're working a car deal, something's urgent, we'll do our best to assist you. And happy holidays.
Yeah.
Enjoy time with your family and friends. And we'll
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Oh, thank you. Merry Christmas and happy holidays and Mele Kalikimaka.
What does that
Mele
word mean?
Mele Kalikimaka?
Yeah, what does that mean?
Bing Crosby, the song Mele Kalikimaka is the wise way to say Merry Christmas to you in Hawaiian. Google it. There's an old song out there. I think it was Bing Crosby. Mele Kalikimaka is the wise way to say Merry Christmas to you.
There you have it.
Impressive, Miss Kimberly Kline. See you guys soon. Bye, Kimberly.
Well,
Thanks,
we'll see some of these folks tonight.
Indeed.
Yep.
See ya.
Bye-bye, everybody. Thanks for a great